Built at the end of 15th and the beginning of 16th century, this late Gothic masterpiece has been center of commerce where silk merchants have gathered. From the ensemble of buildings, the most impressive, without a doubt, is the major hall, so-called contract or trading hall. It covers nearly half of the size of the complex area. In the beginning, this was a trading house for oil and silk, and later for grains. The most characteristic elements of the hall are the 24 twisted columns, almost 16 meters high. The floor is covered with multicolored marble from Alcublas nearby Valencia. The windows are richly ornamented. They are big, so the light is flooding freely into the space. On the walls there are inscriptions in Latin which remind the merchants of their duties, not to steal or cheat, to be fair and honest and good Christians. The Sala del Consulado del Mar was built in the 16th century. Its richly decorated coffered ceiling came from the old city hall, now demolished. After more than 500 years, during most of which it has been in use, this masterpiece of the Gothic architecture is not anymore a center of commerce. Now it is a place where thousands of tourists come to marvel at its eternal beauty. In the 15th century, it was necessary to unify the criteria for the production of silk in Valencia. This is how the College of High Silk Art began its existence. The Silk Museum is housed in a building from 15th century built in a Gothic style, where the headquarters of the guild were at the time. The interior, with its frescoes and mosaics, is at least as stunning as the collection itself and is an inseparable part of the history of the museum. The building went through a few architectural changes, from which, as it happened with many of the historical buildings in Valencia, most prominent are the transformations from the Baroque period. A significant part of the collection is the historical archive of the college, the most important in Europe. It contains documents from over 5 centuries, scrolls, file boxes and books of administration, inspection of factories and shops, and much more. An interesting fact is that the College of High Silk Art had strict quality control and could seize and burn fabrics that did not meet the bylaws of the guild. The silk production in Valencia was at its high in 18th century. At that time, the silk gave jobs to nearly half the population of the city. But over time, the Valencian silk industry declined. There was an epidemic that was killing silkworms. Also, the opening of the Suez Canal made the trade between Europe and Asia easier and the way of the goods shorter and faster. Therefore, the Silk Road lost its significance. In the museum there is a rich collection of looms and tools, fabrics, garments and other objects related to the silk industry. One can follow the making of a silk fabric from the beginning to the ready product. The museum has also a lovely gift shop, but I have been told that most of the items sold there are not made of silk, so better ask before you buy.